U.S. President Joe Biden there at the Black History Month event. An embarrassing setback for former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who lost the Nevada GOP presidential primary on Tuesday to none of these candidates. Now, the loss is largely meaningless because former President Donald Trump decided to skip the Nevada presidential preference primary and instead is expected to win the GOP-run caucuses on Thursday night. That victory will give him all 26 of the state's delegates. Now, this is a symbolic hit to Nikki Haley, who came in third in Iowa and second in New Hampshire, and heads next to her home state's February 24 Republican primary. She captured almost 32% of the vote, while none claimed nearly 62%, with close to two-thirds of the state's votes counted. A number of Republican voters, initially confused about why Trump wasn't on their ballot, said they voted for none of these candidates in support of the former president. Now, to help us make sense of this, let's cross live to Dallas, Texas, and speak with the global affairs analyst, Ejike Okpa. Ejike, good to see you, and thanks for your time. I also saw that, and it's a little bit tricky, especially for those close political analysts and politicians and followers in the U.S. Trump wasn't on the ballot, yet he swept everything. Nikki Haley is still there, but how does it work?
Well, to me, what happened in 2021, the Republican Party of Nevada, filed a lawsuit, wanting to control who becomes a nominee of their party. But the state ruled against them, so that's why we have the primary as well as the caucus, the only state that has that. So what is going to happen is the caucus is tomorrow, Thursday, and then, you say winner take all, and then Trump is going to, get all of that, and then we move the next one. It's going to be March 5th, 20-something for South Carolina. March 5th is the Super Tuesday. By Super Tuesday, we would have gotten maybe 70% of all the delegates. And then at that time, the election is, the nomination is practically over. If Nikki Haley still wants to stay in it, then she will stay in it. But I think she's just catching the race. There's no path to becoming successful in this endeavor.
But again, Ejike, some followers of Trump were somehow confused because they said at the end of the day they voted for no one because their main candidate wasn't on the ballot. So is it a sense of still trying to understand what happened because of that court decision back in 2021?
Yes, again, that's what happened. The party said we only want Republicans to vote in our own nomination process, which is the caucus is a private thing of the party. The primary is usually the election organized by the state. And in that case, you could have Democrats, like you had in the case of New Hampshire, Democrats voting for Nikki Haley when they are not supposed to. So that is why the party said, no, you can go vote. And if you're going to get our support, you don't have to be on the Trump purposely decided not to be on the ballot. So, you saw the people that were there. They've already been, people that dropped out like Mike Pence and Tim Scott and DeSantis. But, Nikki wanted to be on the ballot, but she still didn't garner enough percentage of the vote cast to even make any presence.
Let me push this to you, Ejike. You saw the president there at the Black History Month where he's already hinted that he will be back next year. Just letting everyone know that he's going to be the winner in the coming elections. I know you're a Republican, so I'll need your thought on this.
Well, the funny thing is that history should be a history of every day. We don't have to have a history for Black people, history for Indian Americans, or history for anybody. But I can understand we need to have that history push forward. And then February is the shortest month in the year, and that's why history month. If you really want to do it, it should be on a daily basis. Biden has been in office. Everything he's ever done in his life has been political stuff. So he's the longest serving public person in America. And last time he ran, he said, if you're black and you don't vote for me, you're not black. Why would you say that? Do we have to do identity politics and have black people, some of them behave like a sheep and a shepherd? No. Look, we are Americans. You should campaign to all of us. You don't have to single us out. I don't think he's going to win. If the election is to be held, fair and square without the machination of what's time, I don't think Biden is going to. He's not physically appealing. He has challenges with the way he presents his case and makes his point. Americans are seeing that. The polls shows he's lagging. But again, we have about 8 months or so to go before the actual election. Anything can happen in that period of. But I seriously doubt Americans want to see Biden in office. But then, he's campaigning. He's gonna say that. Trump said it the last time and he didn't make it. But I don't think. Biden is going to be the next president. I think we've had enough of him. He should just go and retire, go to his basement, wherever his house is, and he just take on and get America back to where America's supposed to be.
And now, before I let you go, Ejike, one of the key concerns will be identity politics, which you raise now. And listening to the president there, he also said he's president today because of the black community. We've also heard about the Hispanic communities and so many other communities. How well is the push for identity politics moving in this particular election for the two candidates, for the incumbent, so to speak?
Well, again, the white Americans have figured out a way to divide all the groups in America. Okay, they have the Hispanic caucus, the black caucus. You don't ever hear of, white caucus. When I ran for mayor of Dallas, people came to me and said, "Hey, I have to go talk to black leaders, all this and that." I said, "But who are the leaders of your white people? They are Americans." But you see, when you ask that question, everybody kind of falls back. Because they don't say white leaders. If anybody that is called a white leader in America is associated with that KKK, but they will identify us as Hispanic leaders. We should get away from that. That's why, of course, I was a Republican before. I was practicing Republican values before I came to America. I don't belong to groups where okay, you are Igbo, you are outside. Tell me what you're going to do for the nation, and let that be the things that govern our ordinary. Not because, I'm black, I'm supposed to be a Democrat. I'm Hispanic, I'm supposed to be a Democrat. If the Hispanic and the black people were to recognize the impact they have or the resources they have, the Democratic Party will go away. But they keep bringing in these sentimental things to them, and that keeps the sheep and the shepherd, and then the sheep has become very sheepish. You're supposed to, as an American, we are all entitled to a vote. For those of us that are at the blunt end of the policies of the white people or the dominating political class, if we can exercise that power, seriously. But as long as we fall in the line or the column of, you black, you're supposed to be Democrat, you Hispanic, then America will stay the way it has been. So I don't think, that the Democrats are going to give up on it, because the Democrat is a party of the elites. They don't want you to have an independent mind. They want to tell you what to do. In the Republican Party, you could see that a lot of the Republicans are very independent and they're very aggressive in their values, but the Democrats are the opposite. So follow what the party leader says, and that's how we're gonna, win. Biden believes in that, and everything he talks about is the black people. Black. But he's been in office for more than 50 years. This is a gentleman who never even. He had some policies and thoughts about black people. Now that he's president, is trying to make us think that, no, he's an angel. He's not an angel. We go, for the Democratic Party that is put him up there.
Well, it's a good place for us to leave it just for now, because we hope to have you in the days to come. Ejike Okpa, Global Affairs Analyst, speaking to us live from Dallas, Texas.